Something has to give at VGK's home barn in Saturday's third game of the series against the Stars, the team with the best road record in the National Hockey League. We'll get to all that on this WTF edition of Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi again, everyone. Tony Kardasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. Find us wherever you get your podcast, of course, and please subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube page. We are brought to you today by Monopoly Go. Download Monopoly Go for free on the App Store and on Google Play. Chris, I don't know how much longer this voice is going to hold up today, so you might have to carry the show as you usually do. We're going to see. We're going to see a very desperate Dallas Stars team on Saturday night at the Fortress. You have to wonder how much life VGK took out of the Stars already, building this 2-0 series advantage. But do you still have some concern that the Stars could come back? This is a team in the Dallas Stars that went 26-10-5 on the road this season.
For sure. I mean, listen, the Stars are the number one team in the Western Conference as far as points go. So until the series is over, even if the Golden Knights go up 3-0, until the series is over, it's not over. And we've seen things take some strange turns, of course, in Vegas Golden Knight playoff hockey in the past. So the hope is that this series does not get too exciting. The mindset certainly, I mean, obviously, if they can get the sweeps, even better. But the mindset is hopefully win game 3, if not get a split, at least at home. And then obviously it's going to give you a couple of chances to close this thing out, obviously, before hopefully a game 7 would be needed. But I think that's the mindset that the Golden Knights need to have. And I think Cassidy's influence on this series, as far as what he's saying, is being felt, and it's also happening out there. You saw Cassidy after game 1 telling the players, hey, be hungry. Don't be satisfied with just coming home with the road split. Like if the Golden Knights came home 1-1, we'd be just as happy right now about things. Great job. Good. This is perfect. Golden Knights got the Stars right where they want them. Well, no, now they got them down 2-0.
And VGK will face a team that averaged nearly 4 goals a game away from home. The Stars are definitely going to take chances. This was a potent team offensively that, of course, as we said yesterday, VGK stifled defensively. DeBoer believes his team will now simplify the approach at T-Mobile, and they need to finish, he said yesterday, in the 5-on-5. He said the season is on the line.
That's the thing. I mean, and the Golden Knights need to match that desperation. There's going to be, the Stars are going to have a lot of momentum throughout the game. Of course, if the Golden Knights get a lead, that'll change. But you have to think this game is going to play extremely tight, which could favor both teams. Both teams are comfortable with it being a 1-goal game in either direction. Of course, Pete DeBoer has made a lot of comments about how hard it is to come back on the Golden Knights, but a little bit of that is coach speak. If you just go watch some of the few game logs, it's not that hard in the regular season to come back on the Vegas Golden Knights. But of course, that's without Mark Stone, who's getting healthier in the lineup. And obviously, Pietrangelo missed, 10 of the last 11 or whatever it was. So now things are certainly everything is moving right now, clicking in all cylinders. I was trying to find the right terminology there, and the blue circle of death got stuck spinning. Looking at just some stats real fast, goaltending. I feel like Ottinger hasn't necessarily let in any weak goals, but he's got a 310 goals against and an 850 save percentage. And that's one of the best goalies in the NHL right there, where the Golden Knights are making his numbers look bad. Logan Thompson, 2 goals against average and a 920 save percentage. So right now, Logan is winning the goalie battle against a pretty darn good goalie over there in Dallas. So all these crazy things happening at the right time for the Golden Knights. Go figure, Tony.
For sure. I saw a statistic, too. Dallas led the league in face-off percentage on the road at 53.9%. Now, the other night, was it game 2 where Cassidy had said afterwards that we saw Dallas pretty much on the chip and chase, going off of the end boards and trying to feed the puck to themselves. Remember that? Well, in any event, we know that the backboards there, of course, the T-Mobile are livelier. Are we going to see one of those goals? I'll take one of those on my prop bet this weekend. Okay. And then Pete DeBoer, again, they'll simplify things. They also have some injury concerns right now. So we saw yesterday, and I didn't see them go off the ice. I don't know if you did, but Mason Marchment could be out for this game. Radek Faksa also could be out for this game.
Looking at the shift chart, so players that like Sam Steele's last shift came at 45-27. There was, and then you mentioned Marchment, his last shift was at 47-53. Fasca's last shift was 46-18. So maybe there's some bench shortening.
They ran into each other.
What's that?
Did they run into each other at the same time?
Maybe they did. All three of them, apparently. That's three players that didn't play for the last, 8, 9, 10, 12 minutes of the game. And of course, DeBoer, there's some desperation too, mixing and matching lines. And that's the thing. I mean, it took the Golden Knights all of, 2 games, really 5 periods, if you want to get a little deeper there. It took the Golden Knights all 5 periods to have Pete DeBoer and the Western Conference leading Dallas Stars scrambling and looking for answers. And that's not to say that DeBoer can't do the same to Cassidy in these next couple of games. I know it feels pretty good right now as far as the Golden Knights and their fans are concerned and such, but this series could still have a lot of life left to it, and hopefully it doesn't make it to a 6th game. If it makes it to a 6th game, of course, there's going to be some concern, obviously. You'd have to think at least the Golden Knights will be looking to lock the series down in that 6th game. Otherwise, that means the Stars went on a 3-game winning streak, which would kind of suck right now, but that's what playoff hockey is all about. It's just crazy things that do and can and will happen, and it's going to I don't know. Maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't happen, Tony. I don't know. We'll see.
VGK with the injury concerns of their own Nick Hague, day-to-day, missed game 2. And based on the way that Logan Thompson said, yeah, it really was tough to see him go down like that, whatever.
You caught that too, good.
It didn't seem like it was good, right? You caught that, yeah.
It was concerning, and maybe there's a little bromance happening there. Just 2 guys that have kind of been under the microscope a little bit throughout this season. So maybe there's just a little bit of that support happening from 2 players who know what it's like to be kind of on the outside looking in, right? I mean, it took Logan Thompson to game 83 and 84 to get 2 consecutive starts. Logan never got consecutive starts in the regular season with a healthy Aiden Hill behind him. And now all of a sudden, when it matters the most, games 83 and 84, Logan's the man. So that also tells you that the Golden Knights wanted Aiden Hill to be the man. They gave Aiden Hill had every opportunity to keep his net. I say his net because it was his net for 82 games. And I think just that Ducks game was finally the point where Sean Burke was like, I got no choice. There's no choice. I mean, Sean Burke had no choice but to run Logan Thompson out there. And through 2 games, of course, everyone's happy that's the case. Logan's going to get an absolute rousing ovation on Saturday night at T-Mobile.
Do you know who else will get one?
Loudest he's ever going to get. Go ahead, Tony. Go ahead. I'm going to get
William Carrier.
Hold on.
William Carrier, because everyone just wants to spend money to go see him play. So that Nick Waugh blocked a pass the other night. That knee, don't know if we'll see if he's on the ice today, because that was a blast.
Probably fine. I don't think there's going to be any concerns. I mean, there's only 4 shifts for the entire 4th line in the 3rd period. So I don't think, the
burrito line? Are you talking about the burrito line?
Burrito line. There we go. I like that. The burrito line. New name, burrito line. I like that.
Alec Martinez, will he stay in the lineup tonight, Saturday night?
If Nick Hague is healthy, will he stay in the lineup is the question. And let's just assume Nick Hague goes back in. Do you go Hague and Martinez on the same line and bump Whitecloud? I don't know. Whitecloud did have a nice moment with that kind of 360 thing that created the goal for Noah Hannafin eventually. Hague was taking some hits to make some plays. I'll acknowledge that at least when when Whitecloud was taking those hits, it was in attempts to to make plays and move the puck. I'll give him credit for that. I will not give him any credit for the multiple turnovers that we're seeing, though, right now. I got to think Martinez stays in the lineup, and then do you go Martinez and Haig, lefty and lefty? I don't know if Coach Cassidy likes that idea, though. I don't know.
The Burrito brothers have shown up, though, in this series. The fourth liners for VGK. They were non-existent for the past few games here down the stretch. And Cassidy likes the way that VGK is playing through the first couple of games, not chasing the Stars. Again, he pointed that out yesterday, and home ice, a major factor for the VGK. And sometimes, those honeydew lists there, they grow really large. And we don't know on Friday how deep that's going to go, how many people need tickets, and it could have some impact on this game. And if the country club environment definitely, sets in for the VGK.
I mean, it might rain today, so there could be some car washing happening at City National. We'll kind of wait and see about that. Looking at the Golden Knights' last games at home, I'm throwing out the Anaheim Ducks game. That game was absolutely meaningless. The only game that might have meant something too was Aiden Hill, but I don't even know if that honestly mattered at that point. So throw out the Anaheim Ducks game. The Golden Knights beat the Hawks, beat the Avalanche, beat the Wild, beat the Canucks, beat the Blue Jackets, beat the Kraken, lost to the Tampa Bay Lightning in a game they should have won, but Aiden Hill had a terrible game. Call it what it is. Then they beat the Devils. Then they beat the Red Wings. So that's what, 8 of 9, 8 of 10. However you want to slice that up. So again, things lining up when it matters for the Golden Knights, including down the stretch, including at home. So, I mean, if the Golden Knights are comfortable playing on the road and, going up 2-0 or earning those splits and coming back to the Fortress where things do line up, I mean, I guess the biggest thing is for the Golden Knights to get through the first 5 minutes without overdoing it and just keeping a nice and simple game, letting the game come to them, because the Stars, obviously, they're going to come shot out of a cannon, right? You're going to get the Stars' best effort. They're going to get their best shot. And if the Golden Knights can survive that first 4 or 5 minutes and then get to their game slowly throughout the first period, find a way to get a greasy one, all of a sudden the Stars are thinking about what life is going to be like on Monday night or Tuesday when their season could possibly end.
Coming up next, they've got everyone figured out. That's myself and Chris, and a coach as well. We'll get to that when we return right here on this WTF edition of Locked On Golden Knights. When you are drafting your fantasy team, do you ever wish that you could handpick the best stars for your business team? If you are building your talent roster, you need Indeed. Of course, Indeed is the hiring platform where you can attract, interview, and hire all in one place. So don't spend hours on multiple job sites where you look for candidates with the right skills when you could do it all with Indeed. Find top talent fast with Indeed's suite of powerful hiring tools like matching assessments and virtual interviews. If you hate to wait, Indeed's U.S. data shows that over 80% of Indeed employers find quality candidates whose resume on Indeed matches their job description the moment that they sponsor a job. Candidates that you invite to apply through Instant Match are 3 times more likely to apply to your job than candidates who only see it in the search, according to U.S. Indeed data. Indeed does the hard-hitting work for you, a sponsorship of a job. They match the quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed fit your job description right when you post that job. With Indeed, you can start hiring fast. Join over 3 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast. Indeed knows when you're growing and you're growing your own business, you have to make every single dollar count. That's why with Indeed, you only pay for quality applications that match the must-have job requirements. Just go to Indeed.com/lockedon. Indeed.com/lockedon. Terms and conditions apply. Cost per application pricing not available for everyone. If you need to hire, you need Indeed. Welcome back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen every day. We appreciate you doing so. Tomorrow, of course, is the Chris and Chris show, and that is the YouTube exclusive. Please subscribe there. Yeah, the voice is a little shaky today. Why, you ask? Why? Because I was with the Raider fans last night, at the party, the
You were
draft
being a
party.
fanboy with the Raiders at the draft party. Got it.
Yeah, I had it. Well, anytime I have an opportunity to boo in public, I'm going to take advantage of that. So,
well, I'm sure there's plenty of booing at a Raiders draft day party.
it was it was so bad. It was so bad.
Was it tight end in the first round?
Yeah, they went with Brock Bowers, the tight end. So, and I did not have him in my mock draft. I like some people going, yeah, I had him in my mock draft. No, you didn't. No, you did not. Okay, you get the feeling that Bruce Cassidy is enjoying this postseason once again. VGK up 2-0, still wants the Golden Knights. He does to push, and the Golden Knights now fueled by momentum. Here is a situation where Pete DeBoer, he looked in the presser as hungover as he did the day of the All-Star game. Remember when he was the head coach here? In any event, yeah, Pete looks a little bit battered, if you will. So he's not mincing words, and he looks like he's really defeated and just beaten down by the VGK. His team cannot solve the Golden Knights. Remember, I asked you, do the Golden Knights have Dallas's number? Yes, and then some.
What is this, 9 wins in a row or something? Whatever the number is dating back to last year's postseason, it's definitely I mean, in the 2 games they dropped, were desperation situations. So, like I have the press conference up right here because I was listening to it earlier before we started the show, and I don't have the audio on, but I'm just watching his eyes right now, and I'm not going to say he's hungover, stop it, but maybe the same kind of feeling you get, maybe feeling guilty when you're hungover about, oh, I'm never drinking again. Maybe that's
guilty games. Guilty games.
DeBoer did not have a guilty game, but stop it. I understand what you're saying. He definitely looks like a coach that's down 2-0 that had very high expectations. And someone did ask the question about, the Stars having your number, or the Golden Knights having your number, meaning the Stars number. And right away, they've got everyone figured out when the media member asked if the Golden Knights have the Stars figured out. And that comment right there, and then you watch his tone, his mannerism, all the stuff that you just said, it is certainly concerning. I don't know what you want as a fan when your team is down 2-0 in the Stanley Cup playoffs, no matter what the circumstances are. But a coach that just looks defeated already, which I think is a safe way to put it. I don't think that's what I want when my team is down 2-0. I don't know if I want a million cliches and you got to win 1 game at a time, win 1 period, and whatever all that nonsense is. I don't think I need any of that, but a backbone maybe. And I just feel like DeBoer did not show much of a backbone, and this is Pete DeBoer. Like it is what it is. If Pete DeBoer's plan A doesn't work, he's not good at finding a plan B.
No.
And Bruce Cassidy, I think, has Pete DeBoer looking for a plan C and a plan D right now. That's not Pete DeBoer's strength at all. Pete DeBoer's got a very good plan when it works. But when Pete DeBoer has to adjust and change, and maybe, and again, I mean this with some respect and disrespect at the same time, maybe the reason the Stars were better on the road is because you don't play the matchups as much. You try and get them out there, but every time there's a whistle, the home team gets the last change and the Stars just roll out their players. So maybe that's why they are a little bit better on the road. Maybe that's just what the reality is of Pete DeBoer as a coach.
And, Cassidy said that his team now just needs to stick to the script. And part of that script has been physicality. I mean, this is a VGK team now that, remember, like when in the playoffs last year, VGK, this is me, way too finesse. I don't think they're going to win the cup because they're not a hard-hitting team. And when they play against the East, they're just going to get.
Was that starting in the playoffs, or was that before the playoffs started last season when you said that?
Right before the playoffs,
yeah, okay.
And perhaps during as well, because I wanted some clicks from Edmonton. So they could have been during that series too. But
I handled that part. I got the Edmonton people over.
Yeah, they give you all the ink there in Edmonton. Amazing.
See if we even see Edmonton.
It'd be great. It'd be great. I'd love to see Edmonton.
I hope Edmonton gets there. Edmonton, Vegas would be awesome, but there's a lot of things need to happen before that. It's crazy how the playoffs do bring out the best in all the players, including the Golden Knights, and not just the Golden Knights. A lot of players around the NHL, but the Golden Knights have the pedigree and the players, and this is even before they won the Stanley Cup. There was a lot of experience in that locker room about getting close or deep playoff runs and such. So they know what it takes. And now, obviously, with all the new Stanley Cup rings that are inside of their locker room stalls or wherever they keep them and stuff like that, now they have even more of that experience. And this is something that we talked about probably early in the season, right? And just the Golden Knights were bored in the regular season. Call it what it is. You go from that cup run, you go from the parades, you go from a summer of partying and everything, and now you got to play hockey games again. Like I say, like it's a bad thing, but the reality is it's a little less exciting. You know, I'm a bowler, right? I don't bowl much anymore, but there's a much different feeling when I go to Sam's Town on a Tuesday night for a bowling league that I do not want to be at versus doing my yearly national tournament. It's exciting, right? It gets your blood going and stuff. And same thing in the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs, right? The Golden Knights know what it's like to climb that mountain. They know what comes with it. They know the fun that comes with it. Keegan Kolesar doesn't care about the confetti, but he wants more beer, as he told me back at the Win before the season started. So
beer and burritos.
B&B, the B&B. Sounds like a restaurant, Tony. There you go. B&B by K&K, Keegan Kolesar. See, or burritos and beer, whatever. Okay. So point being is the Golden Knights are turning the light on right now. It's exciting hockey. This is why they grinded out the regular season. And now it's a different team. This is not the same Golden Knights team for games 1 through 82. And I don't want to go the LTIR route. That's not what that was intended to do. But the reality is this is a different roster, a better roster, and a roster just as good as any of the other 15 teams that are still in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
55 hits in game number 2, if that's all valid there. 55 hits. And that's probably about what they did in about 5 or 6 games at one point this season. That's a season. It's got to be a season
of playoff hockey, Tony. That's fine.
Okay, that has to be. And the buzzword around VGK land now is what? What would you say the word of the day is?
Burrito.
Burrito. It's up there. It's up there. That was number 2. Composure. Composure is the new buzzword around VGK land. Where
is that your word, or is that what you just heard on the broadcasts?
No, this is what Cassidy's been saying. This is what the players are saying. Hannafin said it the other night. The team's showing composure. That is the word, bro.
Fine, but I don't see that as like, I don't see the Stars doing anything to take away their composure. Like, it doesn't. Maybe that's why they're preaching that. And
the first period the other night in game 2,
it was physical. It was a good period, but there wasn't a lot of after whistle stuff.
It had to be composed. Did you know that the Golden Knights are the least penalized team in the NHL?
I'm sure that's a Pete DeBoer.
Oh, wait, I was going to use that in the third segment. It's so rigged. Cassidy has taught.
Shut up, Tony.
Cassidy has taught this team how to trip over sticks. Okay.
Shut up, Tony.
What adjustments are we going to see in game number 3?
Shut up, Tony.
Will they show composure? Are they going to show composure?
I think honestly, simplify is a word that I like better. I think the Golden Knights are going to do their best, as weird as this sounds, not to feed off the home crowd, not to be over amped and over energized early on. T-Mobile is going to be a friggin' party. It always is. And this is obviously a unique situation where the Golden Knights are coming home up 2-0 to start their home games. So the Golden Knights need to, like you said, I guess composure maybe is the word. I mean, I'm trying to find a way not to say it, but I don't know. Composure.
Coming up next. Yeah, I'm losing my composure. Coming up next, it's WTF. What the Friday? Stay with right here on Locked On Golden Knights.
Composure.
I have a very much composed side, but I also have a competitive side, as Chris will tell you. We all do. And my competitive side is being a big fan. No, it's not in the script. Don't look down. Again, I'm a big fan of Monopoly Go, and I'm sure that you've heard of it. It's been downloaded more than 150 million times. It's a great twist on Monopoly, where you play not one board, but on hundreds of Monopoly boards, which is really cool and crazy locations. And you could build up amazing cities that bring you the big money. And I really do like blanking around with my friends, like Fridaying around with my friends, messing around with my friends. Don't go off script. I can charge them rent on my iconic properties, just like classic Monopoly. But now I can also rob their vaults of riches and keep them myself. And the leaderboards show me who has the biggest tycoon status. That's right. But it's not just my competitive side that loves it. You can team up with your friends and people around the world in time tournaments to earn huge rewards. So get into the game. Join your friends today. Download Monopoly Go. It's free on the App Store or on Google Play. Back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights, Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen to It's the Chris Times Chris Jr. Show, the YouTube exclusive. It's that time of the week again, time for WTF. And as we know, Chris does not know who J.R. Ewing is. So who shot J.R.? But then they came out with the hashtag Who Shot Tony, I think, too. That was kind of funny. But Tyler Seguin of the Stars, hey, if you have a chance, try to find where Cassidy tries to pronounce Sagan's last name. It's loads of laughter.
I used to call him Seguin. I got drilled for that.
So Sagan of the Stars said he did not really enjoy the Dallas fans booing Mark Stone. He came out and said that. That's the only thing he said in this entire postseason tournament, because I haven't even heard his name, for crying out loud. He said sometimes getting booed gets you going. He said when he was booed in Winnipeg, it used to lead to his best nights. WTF. Could backfire on those Stars fans.
Sure, whatever. Yeah, I get what he's saying, but I mean, I don't know. I think they have more important things to worry about than the crowd response. All right, Mick Kern, great media personality on the NHL Network. Someone I love interacting with, a lot of fun. He posted something about his show, something Golden Knights related, and someone made an LTIR comment, and he's got the best possible way to handle this. Enough. Learn the facts. Go away. Say it again. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 words. Enough. Learn the facts. Go away. That's it. That is the best way to handle anyone that wants to fire those LTIR shots and cap circumvention shots and all of that. Enough. Learn the facts. Go away. WTF.
WTF from our guy at eRuns, Eric Rabbers. WTF, I have money on Vegas Bjorn scoring over 1.5 goals for the series, and he is getting rigged out of ENGs. They don't even have him on ENG1 anymore, this guy. But
shut up, Tony.
Thanks, brother. Of course, the reason why Pete DeBoer lost his job here was peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, Marcia So, the owner, and Vegas Bjorn. WTF.
They get downgraded from BLTs?
What'd I say?
You said peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, whatever. Okay. WTF. Okay, this is so rigged. This is beyond rigged. Hashtag rigged. Okay. They schedule the stinking playoffs, right? The way the schedule falls, VGK has extra time here at home. And then they put this Dallas team, which is beaten down and probably boozing it up here in Vegas, a couple of nights in Vegas for the Dallas Stars in between games. Vegas flu is alive and well.
Or every team gets 2 travel days between games.
Okay. Oh, yeah. It's so far from Dallas.
3.
I mean, teams coming in from Dallas on the tail end of the back-to-back, that's okay. But this is not. Okay. And then the other thing, too, we know that Bruce Cassidy, WTF, is checking out our tweets before he hits the podium. We saw that the other night. WTF. Bend but don't break. I mean, I haven't heard him say that all year long. And then Chris tweets it out in game, and then Bruce goes up on the podium. You saw him checking his phone. WTF. Looking at the tweets. WTF from at Darth Tommy 774. Not putting the cart before the horse, but it's shaping up to be a finals rematch. What say you? Wouldn't the league love to see this? I think so. WTF.
I mean, that was my bracket. That was my bracket that I filled out. I did put Vegas over Florida again.
Oof. I'd like to see my Rangers and VGK. Oh, my goodness. What would I be like?
I would have a hard time not making a trip to New York for that with my son, but we'll Well, let's hope the carts being before the horse or something like that. They're going to be really expensive. WTF for that one. Okay, so there's this video going around. Alec Martinez, this amazing sliding behind the back deflection of a centering pass that might have saved a goal and changed the course of history for Game 2 of the first round between the Stars and the Golden Knights. Why did that play have to happen? Because Zach Whitecloud made a terrible turnover at the blue line. That's the one thing about this play that no one is acknowledging when this video pops up on your timelines and feeds on Twitter or Facebook or X or Instagram, wherever you want to find it. No one is acknowledging the Zach Whitecloud situation there. So we're being tough on Whitecloud for a reason. Why? Because it's the playoffs. It's the playoffs. This stuff needs to be acknowledged and pointed out. And if there is one weakness right now in the sixth defenseman, it's him. And it's a good thing he's on the bottom pairing because hopefully he's got some time to iron this out. But Whitecloud has been a different version of himself. Now, same breath, he's been doing some good things on the offensive side of the blue line, which is fine. But you still got to take care of home base, and he still is not doing a good job. So WTF Whitecloud, but hopefully he'll get better.
WTF, this is from at DJ Christopher, CHRISTOOLPHER.
My burner.
Is that you? Is this your burner? No, it can't be, because you said something nice about me. Tony, you are in. Can we get some violin music in the background or something? You are important for the podcast and for the fans. It's good to have some objectivity once in a while. Just wish that you liked Wild Bill more. WTF. And that's not going to happen. And Wild Bill, one shot on goal through 2 games. He's so important for this team. And
Shut up, Tony!
out of his thinking mind. He's playing so well. Remember, he blamed DeBoer for lack of creativity. Wouldn't allow him to be creative. That was the best line ever.
DeBoer's system didn't favor William Karlsson. Support that.
All right. We appreciate everyone tuning in. We'll have on the Twitter. It was a new record. We'll have our picks and predictions, of course, tomorrow. Just check out the X or the Twitter as Bruce Cassidy does. And, of course, tomorrow, the Chris and Chris Jr. show, that comes your way, the YouTube exclusive. We appreciate everyone tuning in, especially our everydayers. For my man, Chris Golick, I'm Tony Cardasco from Las Vegas. You will see again, maybe Sunday. I don't know. This is how it goes. If there's notes on the napkin, we'll be back on Sunday. If not, Monday. We'll see you again whenever, right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Take care.